All right, welcome back to the episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight we got Adam, we got Chris, and we got Keith. We are going to hop into our way too early 2024 NBA predictions. So, obviously coming off the heartbreaking loss last night from my Miami Heat in a series where everybody picked Denver anyways, it's time for us to jump way ahead multiple months and talk about the NBA next season.
Multiple months, just a year.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Well, about multiple months since
I mean,
season starts.
Summer league's coming up in a second.
Oh, yeah, Summer League, that's a great time.
October, so
Summer
Summer League, baby.
It's like watching the G League.
The Drew League.
Is it do more people watch the Summer League or the WNBA?
Probably
Summer
Summer League.
Asia Wilson's dominating right now.
Hey, Asia Wilson. We're gonna have an Asia Wilson versus LeBron legacy video coming soon, by the way.
Asia.
Just FYI. Anyways, let's jump into it. Dallas Mavericks fan, Miami Heat fan, God forbid him, Charlotte fan.
Indifferent down there.
Indifferent.
He'll follow the Hornets whenever they're good again. So
At least about Frank the Tank.
yeah. I mean, you could be putting Cody Zeller on.
Shit, we had that. We tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
good job.
Yeah, thanks. Miami didn't deserve to win that championship the way they shot, anyway. So let's hop into it. Like a lot of moving parts here. Going to be some off season. What's going to happen with Dame? Some of the same things. Is LeBron retiring? Blah blah blah. Congrats to the Nuggets, by the way. I know nobody's really saying it today. They're already talking about other crap, but congrats to the Nuggets for their championship. What's their chances of being able to repeat, right? They're in a really good position. A lot of young players, a lot of players that, if they can stay healthy, will be able to get through. Can John Morant stay away from a gun?
No.
Who knows?
He's done fucked himself up.
Yeah. So, those things to be thinking about.
I honestly think next year, coming out of the East, I think it's going to really be between Philly and Milwaukee.
Okay.
I think Philly finds a way to find that one extra piece that kind of puts them over the top. Milwaukee, as long as they have Giannis, they're going to be a solid team. They're going to be somebody to contend with. And Philly, like I said, if they can find someone to complement Embiid, and if Harden can stay the Harden that he was this year, where he's actually being a facilitator of the ball and scoring and passing, I think they'll be fine. Out of the East, so I'm just talking the East right at this particular moment.
I say out of the East, and I know they're not a favorite to win the East, but personally, I like them to win the East. I'm going Cleveland.
Ooh, buying into the young boys, aren't you?
Boys are good. There's a lot of young
Until
talent
LeBron
in
goes back
Cleveland.
and blows it up.
There's a lot of young talent in Cleveland that I've enjoyed watching grow the last two seasons. I think they're really putting something together. But there is something to be said about veteran players in big situations, and Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly all have that. So it's tough to beat those big three in the East. But I really do like what Cleveland's doing. Like, I was looking at, their home split versus like Milwaukee, and about 1 game difference.
Yeah.
31-10 at home. The best was 32-9.
Yeah.
So I mean, they can win at home. You got to improve on the road. You went 20-21 on the road.
Yeah, where the other teams are going 26 and 15.
Yeah,
or
like you
25
got
and
to be
16.
able. You got to be able to win on the road, and I think that's where I think maybe lacking some experience probably hurts. So I mean, maybe if they can add something here in the offseason, get a veteran player. I don't know who or what they would need exactly, but if you can improve that on the road win percentage, then I think all of a sudden you're in contention in the East for sure. But yeah, like I said, I'm buying in on the Young Bucks.
Okay, I like it. I actually don't disagree with you a whole lot on that. I think there's something to be said about the Knicks and the Cavs where I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think that they're in a position with the youth that they have to go and be the best record in the East. Not that they're going to win the East necessarily, but be the teams that can go get the best record in the East based on their youth. It's almost like a Tampa Bay, like for those that watch the MLB, it's almost like a Tampa Bay Rays situation where every year they are a top 100+ win team and they get the playoffs and they crap the bed, right? That's where I feel like the
With
Knicks
no
and
top
Cavs.
talent.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like the Knicks and the Cavs are going to be able to go because I didn't really watch the Knicks a whole lot this season until Miami had their series with them. There's a lot of young talent on the Knicks. Like Julius Randle, I get is the big name veteran, the star, but like R.J. Barrett's really good.
Jalen Brunson's good.
Jalen Brunson's really good.
I miss him
So
in Dallas.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
There are some well named players on that roster, and so I think the Cavs need more of a shooter. I think they need a almost like J.J. Redick, 3-baller corner guy, a Ray Allen almost as player.
Go get Klay Thompson.
That's what we were talking about, right? We were talking about Golden
Patience
State. Yeah, I mean, going and getting a Klay Thompson for them would be a stud player for them to finally put themselves probably over the list. But as far as teams that are going to win the East, Boston's in a tough situation with what to do with Brown. But I think they need to get rid of Brown to bring themselves back to a core value of what can get them there. Jason Tatum is the star player. He is a player.
Guy.
He is the it guy. He doesn't have the confidence, which is, I think, the difference. I think that's the difference in Jason Tatum between what he could be and what he is right now. Like, he could be a LeBron James dominant player of the league, a Kevin Durant dominant player of the league,
Or Giannis.
or Kobe. He if he had Kobe's mentality, he could be the best player in the NBA. He really could. But I watched him against Miami literally shy away from wanting the ball in the biggest situations. Like, he needed to take over a game, and he was just playing his role and being a teammate, which is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're that talented, sometimes you need to turn the Kobe Mamba on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you were talking about the Knicks. The Knicks are actually my sleeper pick for the East.
I like it.
I think watching the Knicks play this year and just how they played in the first round of the playoffs and then that series against Miami. I mean, they looked pretty solid throughout that entire series.
They made some mistakes, but they're tough as hell.
Right.
Like, they are a
Right.
tough freaking team.
So that's I would take the Knicks as my
I would say,
sleeper
I don't
on
know
the East.
if they're considered sleepers at this point, but I would take Miami again to go back.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think
I don't see them losing a bunch in this offseason.
we won't. I think what I would love is to get Kyle Lowry's contract restructured so that we can open up some money. Like, paying Kyle Lowry $37 million just because he's on that contract from Toronto is a little aggressive. So for a guy that's coming off the bench at 38 years old, Miami's biggest thing is they have to go find them somebody that can be a big man. They can be a shot blocker, rebounder in the post. Like, Bam's a great facilitator and a guy that can play
Small ball five.
Small ball five with good offense. But if we're gonna have to go face Jokic again, you gotta have somebody that can defend him.
Or DeAndre Ayton.
Or
Well,
Joel Embiid.
I was getting ready to say you're getting ready. Phoenix is about to blow up their team.
Yeah.
So you can go out and get their big dude, which is DeAndre Ayton, right?
Yeah, it's DeAndre Ayton.
Yes, I mean you go get DeAndre Ayton off of Phoenix,
That would be wonderful.
and get
Or
somebody
I'm
that
say
can play that big
Steven
man.
Adams out of Memphis. Like,
Steven Adams would be a really good one. Yeah.
I mean, dominant force down low.
Yeah,
Dominant.
Memphis might be trying to sell some pieces off here, especially if they can't get Yah out there.
It's crazy to be they're the number 2 seed in the West, and now they're having to try and decide whether they want to blow something up or not. That's just.
I mean, they might have to. If you can't have your number one player on the court, you're going to have to blow it up to get people that can come out and play.
Yeah.
I mean, you build your team around Ja Morant. If he can't play, he can't play. You got to go get somebody else. It's no different than what the Nets did, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I mean, Embiid left, so they got then you had Irving and Durant. Irving left, then you just had Durant. Durant didn't want to play there by himself, so they got rid of Durant.
Yeah.
And they're in a rebuild now, so well, they're not really in a rebuild. They actually had a pretty decent team, but
No, they're in a rebuild.
they're going to be rebuilding.
Yeah. So let's talk about the West a little bit then. I mean, obviously Denver, world champions.
Yeah.
But who else are we looking at in the West and feeling
I like
good about?
Sacramento.
Ooh.
I like Sacramento.
The young kids again.
Young kids again.
Young
They
kids
got-
again
They
on
got,
this
they
side.
got some talent coming. I like them, and I still think you can't count Golden State out. You cannot count them out as long as they have Steph and Clay. Granted, we're talking about Clay being traded, but as long as you have Steph on that team, I wouldn't count them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they really are. I forgot Harrison Barnes is on this team.
I would say there's
But Malik Monk came out and had a stellar year for them off the bench.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox was good for them.
Just
Is DeMontis Sabonis on this team?
yeah. I don't know that there's a person on this team outside of Harrison Barnes maybe that is under 20 or that's over 27 years old. Yeah,
Monk might be.
De'Aaron Fox 25. Sabonis is 27. Okay. I always loved Sabonis. He was such a great player. Yeah, Kevin Hunter from Maryland. Harrison Barnes was 31. Wow, he's older than I thought. And then Monk's 25 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I think that's another. I can't take two young teams, but I do like what Sacramento's been able to put together.
I mean, another team that I like out of the West. I mean, Adam will like it, but if Denver can get someone to run with.
You mean Dallas? To
Yeah,
run with
not
Luka?
Denver,
Yeah.
but Dallas. If
Theoretically, that should have been Kyrie.
But it got worse with Kyrie.
It should have been. I mean,
If Dallas can get somebody to run with Luka,
yeah. I mean, I understand Kyrie's a little bit older, but he's still probably one of the better ball handlers in the league.
Yeah.
I
I actually am going to pick Dallas on this as well. I think Dallas is a team that's going to fall. They may not win the West, but they are going to be able to come back and be a top 3 seed in the West, and I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't know if Dallas. I'm still torn between does Dallas need a point guard and then move
Luka
off the ball and let him play, more of a small forward ish.
2-3 hybrid.
Yeah. Or do I need Luka holding the ball with a DeAndre Ayton style player in the post helping him?
Well, with that, like I like. Well, we have David Botan, who's a shooting 5.
Yeah.
We have Dwight Powell, who's decent down low. Like we have guys that can play the post. We don't have anybody that plays the post like a Jokic or a DeAndre Ayton, who's like give you the old shimmy shake and hook shots and. Well, hell, Jokic can do it all, so it doesn't really matter where you put him on the court.
Considering he was leading everything in your team last year.
Yeah, I mean, he can do it all. So.
I think Christian Wood's a really good player that y'all have, but
good young talent there. I like him.
Yeah, I'm still kind of torn between it because I do think that I think if we know something. Portland is in the hot seat right now. They have to decide.
Well, Dame's trying to recruit people to come play with him in Portland.
I know, and they're not really doing a great job of it.
No,
so the thing becomes, if you're Portland, like you can't keep Dame unhappy forever, and you have trade value in him. So does Dallas come calling and say, hey, let's get Dame, let's get Luka, and let's get Christian Wood together, and let's see if this 3 can do it together.
They'll take Kyrie.
Well, yeah, Kyrie. I mean, is Kyrie gonna that's the other thing? If you're Portland, you can go get Kyrie, but is Kyrie gonna make you any better? Like he's just taking the ball from Dame at that point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they're at with that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a really unique player to me.
SGA.
Yeah.
Always good.
He's in Oklahoma City, putting himself in an MVP style season. Oklahoma City's a long way away from being a contender.
But
don't get me wrong, they made a play-in game this year. I get it, but hell, fucking 2/3 of the league makes play-in games.
But he's got potential to be really good.
At 24, yeah, I know. At 24 years old, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be a top 10 player in the league this coming year. It would be really cool, I think, if Dallas they'd have to trade a lot, but made that move to go get him to play with Luka.
I'm gonna say I think he's or what is it? Did he get restructured yet? Did he get his extension?
I don't know that he has, actually.
So I was going to say, I think if he's not, I think he's only 1 year out from being a potential free agent. So, I mean, do you hold out a year hoping OKC doesn't?
Well, then you got to go buy him. That's the other difficult part of that. But I think he did get his extension.
Yeah, he's under contract.
Yeah, he's under contract all the way till to the end of 2027. So at $30+ million a year, which he deserves.
He's playing like it.
Yeah,
he's playing like it 100%.
I think he's a unique piece that Oklahoma City's either got to push the gas pedal down and go make themselves a contender, or consider
trade bait.
Yeah, consider using him as trade bait. He's a multiple, maybe 3 first-round pick kind of level player
Right now, he could be absolutely.
So,
If
I
if the Suns keep it together, I think the Suns are going to be a contender again.
I think the
they're
Suns
letting
will
Chris
blow it
Paul.
up.
They're letting Chris Paul go for sure. If I'm looking at the West, I like Denver's chances to be up there again. I think Memphis falls way off.
Yeah.
Just personally, just way off. Kings are up there. Suns, if they keep it together outside of Chris Paul, can be up there. I think Clippers fall off. Let's say Golden State gets better. I'm with y'all on this train that Golden State finds a way to get better. I hate to say it, but I think the Lakers will get better. I don't think the T-Wolves get any better. I don't think Oklahoma City or New Orleans get any better. I really think that you're going to see the Utah Jazz get back into the playoffs, Dallas get back into the playoffs. I don't look at the other three and say, I mean, Portland, like I said, has got to push either the gas pedal down and get better, or they need to trade Dame. So for me, I'm going to sit back and say.
Were the Spurs the worst team in the league this year, or was that Houston?
They actually, Detroit was the worst team,
Oh,
but
okay.
the Spurs actually won the number 1 overall pick, so they'll be getting
Rigged.
it from France. Yeah, we've already did that
One
video.
Bamba or whatever.
Yeah.
Big
Check, if you want to talk about the rigging of the NBA and the NHL draft, check out our video on that.
Yep, it's there.
So, all right, give me your flat out who's winning 2024. Who's winning the NBA
Who's
finals?
winning?
You don't have to. You can either give both teams and the winner, or you can just give the winner.
Give me Cleveland, Denver back in the finals, and give me Denver repeating.
Okay.
Sixers, Denver.
Sixers, Denver. Okay. Give me Boston. This is gonna be tough. Give me Boston, Lakers.
No,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want it, but
Even if he retires,
LeBron's
not
not going to
retiring.
win a
he's
championship.
not gonna retire. I didn't say he was gonna win. I was gonna say Boston wins.
He's not. He ain't going to make it back.
Okay. I hope so. I hope
He's only
you're
going to play
right.
like 35 games next year.
I hope you're right, but
He's only going to play 35 games. Fucking
AD's gonna get hurt.
yeah, AD's going to only play like 25 because he can't stay on the court because of his toe.
I hope so.
AD's gonna
You're
get
right.
hurt a third of the season.
I hope you're right, but the NBA just does some sketchy rigging here and there. So
They tried to do it this year and couldn't do it. Couldn't get it right.
yeah, give me Boston, give me the Lakers, give me
What
Boston.
an
winning.
iconic matchup.
It's what the NBA would want, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna drive the most revenue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, give it
What
to
an
me a
iconic.
couple years with Paul. Give me a couple years ago with Paul Pierce and Kobe, and I'd be interested, but not now.
Yeah. All right. So who you said Philly, Denver?
Mm-hmm.
Who were you taking the winner there?
Give me Philly.
Okay. Joel Embiid and
Joel Embiid against Jokic.
That would be a
That'd be a matchup.
That would be
Two best big men in the league.
Wow. That
Two
would
best
be
big men in the league.
that would be 7 games of some rubbing down low. That'd be awesome.
That'd be a wrestling match every night.
Yeah. That
But
would be.
I don't see anybody else in the West that could give Denver the one for their money. I mean,
I think some veteran teams.
Nobody
like
can stop Jokic.
I think Golden State, the Lakers, some veteran teams are going to be if there's going to be a team that can do it. I like Sacramento, man. I think Sabonis could play along with Jokic.
is he a 7-footer?
Yeah. Yes. He's 7 foot 240, where Jokic is 6'11", 280. I think those two. I think those two.
I think that's just Denver's biggest advantage is having Jokic be able to do what he does.
Yeah.
Night in and night out.
Yeah.
Between 8 assists,
And that's
12
why.
boards, and 22nd point, you're like,
That's
like
why.
how do I stop this?
That's why my theory on Dallas, if Dallas is going to be able to beat Jokic and go to the finals, that's why I almost lean more towards leave Luka at point guard and get you a big guy. Get you a. I mean, if it's going to be DeAndre Ayton, or get you somebody. Steven Adams.
I would love to see Steven Adams. Just because that's a lot of man to move down.
That is.
That is a big, and he plays so aggressive but smart at the same time.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody that can defend him. So, all right. So we got 76ers, Boston Celtics, and the
Denver
Nuggets repeating.
Yeah.
Hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win the 2024 NBA Finals. And as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.